Today I'm attempting to reason with some of the dumbest tweets on MMA Twitter. Go follow MMA Dumb Tweets, that's where I got all these. Starting with this one, I still think Usman wins. And Usman does look pretty big in that picture, but Jan Blachowicz at 205 pounds and Usman at 170 pounds, that is a very severe weight gap. That'll make a huge difference. Usman will most likely be slower at 205, but let's try to salvage. Would Usman be able to wrestle with Jan and use that to win? Maybe. But I think that Usman would not had any experience wrestling anyone as strong and as big as Jan Blachowicz in a real fight. So that's where it would be questionable. The honest Islam fan here thinks Usman could get it done. Verdict on whether it's salvageable or not? Yeah. I think it could happen. I don't think it's likely. Lightweight really is not as stacked as we thought. Let me look at the rankings. So obviously Islam the new crown champion. Okay. Oliveira, Poirier, Gaethje, Dariush, Chandler, Fiziev, Dos Anjos, Gamrot, Saryukian, Jalen Turner, Damir Ismagulov, Dan Hooker, McGregor, Ferguson. So past 11, it gets a little bit not great because Dan Hooker. Why has Dan Hooker moved up 2 spots in the lightweight division when he hasn't won a lightweight fight since he fought Nasrat Haqparast? Either way, once you get past Damir Ismagulov, Guram Kutsaladze is not even in the rankings. Everything 11 and up is pretty stacked. You could say Dos Anjos is kind of past his prime a little bit, but there are so many young guys like Saryukian, Gamrot, Ismagulov, young guys who haven't really cracked that top 5 that are so good. I think it's pretty stacked. I would say it's the second most stacked. I'm pretty confident in saying that. Even if you just look at the pound for pound rankings, like Volkanovski is number 1 and he's competing at lightweight, so technically does that include him in the lightweight stackness? 3 is Makhachev, 7 is Oliveira, 11 is Poirier. So I think lightweight is pretty damn stacked, at least top 3. So is this take salvageable? No. Belal beats Colby. He is better on the feet and has better wrestling overall. Okay, so better on the feet. Belal's definitely more technical on the feet, but you could argue Colby's more effective on the feet. You could argue that because Colby's whole goal on the feet is to back you up against the cage and then eventually shoot on you. And he's really good with volume punching. He doesn't usually put anything too crazy overextending. He's kind of just tapping volume, kind of Diaz approach. His striking looked really good in the Robbie Lawler fight. It didn't look as good in the Jorge fight. He was closing the distance with big ducking, overhand, like looping shots. Against Robbie, he was kind of kicking his way in, jabbing. Striking against Robbie looked really good. But better wrestling overall is kind of crazy. Colby's chain wrestling and his pace when he's wrestling is really, really good. And I don't think Belal can match up with that. Maybe Belal's jiu-jitsu's a little better, but Belal is not a submission threat whatsoever, and neither really is Colby. But does Belal beat Colby? I just don't see it. I don't think that Belal, would Belal be able to completely shut down Colby's wrestling offense and pace and pressure? Like, Belal's got good cardio. Would he be able to just stuff all of Colby's takedowns? Maybe, and if he does, then he could maybe pick him apart on the feet. So in terms of like dumbest takes, I think this take is salvageable up until he says has better wrestling overall. So Belal beats Colby, he's better on the feet. It's debatable. Do I agree with it? No. But is it salvageable? Yes. Islam Makhachev is higher than Khabib on the GOAT list. This really doesn't even have to be discussed. This is not salvageable at all in any way. Is he saying competition beat? No. It doesn't line up. Title defenses? No. A dominance? No. Undefeated record that every Khabib fan loves so much? No. So, no. This is just no. Not salvageable at all. Oh, here we go. The king of dumb tweets. Dylan Dennis goes, hand to God, I finish Chimaev inside of 2 rounds. Does he think he's gonna leg lock Chimaev? Maybe Dylan Dennis goes out there and leg locks Chimaev. I could definitely see some people, Dylan Dennis, ADCC, he could probably leg lock Chimaev, toe hold him, like he did to the absolute bums in Bellator that he went up against. The reality is, Dylan Dennis is not big at all for 170. He hasn't fought in 3 years. His striking sucks. If Chimaev just wants to strike with him, he could. Chimaev could stand up the whole time and just probably knock him out. But if he wants to go the grappling route, he's one of the best that we've ever seen do that. I mean, what were you expecting from Dylan Dennis? It's not salvageable. Oh, it's Honest Islam fan again. This guy seems to appear a lot on MMA Dumb Tweets Twitter. How many pay-per-view buys does this do? My guess is 800 to 900,000. I don't think that's that bad. I don't think that's that dumb. Both guys are kind of on the downward slope. So, I mean, I think it could kind of work out. It'd be an interesting fight. It'd be a lot of question marks going in. I could see 800 and 900K. It is McGregor. If him and Poirier really did 1.3 or 1.2 in the third fight, I could definitely see this doing somewhere in that 800 to 900 range. I don't know why this is on the Dumb Tweets one. Are people thinking more or less because both guys are kind of washed? I don't know. I don't think casual fans care that both guys have lost quite a bit in the last few years. I don't think they care at all. I think they'd still watch it. They know Masvidal as a guy who got that really fast knockout and who beat Nate Diaz and has that cool little BMF belt, and they know McGregor as McGregor. So I think 800 to 900 is reasonable. So is it salvageable? Yes. I actually agree with it. Maybe I'm tripping. Homelander MMA says, it's tough explaining to MMA casuals who only watch the UFC, the guy on the left beats the guy on the right. You may be thinking on initial look, if Islam could beat Oliveira, maybe Usman can. But I think it's a little tough to say that because Usman's competition has been just absolute garbage. I'm looking it up right now. Best win is, I know none of the guys that he beat, Chris Gonzalez, who's a 7-2 lightweight. Like I said, I do not know any of these guys. So to say that Usman right now beats Oliveira, given the experience that Oliveira has and the lack of experience that Usman has, that would be a tough sell. I mean, maybe Usman is just that much better than Oliveira, then maybe. So is it salvageable? Maybe, but it's not. I don't agree with it. So I would say it's maybe salvageable because Usman could be just really good but facing really bad guys. I don't know. I'm being generous there. O'Malley has more of a chance of winning 3 championships at different weights than Khamzat. Khamzat would have to win it at 170, 185, and 205. O'Malley could win it at 35, 45, and 55. Could Khamzat go up to 205 and ragdoll people? I mean, maybe. O'Malley's striking and length. Let's just do a hypothetical right now. Each of them got to fight the champion. So let's say O'Malley versus Aljo. I think that's a very bad matchup for O'Malley. But could O'Malley run Aljo onto a head kick? Maybe. But I don't like his chances. I think Aljo's grappling is too good. Then go to 45. Volkanovski shreds O'Malley. However he wants him. He could grapple. He could kick the legs. I think he's just as fast, which is crazy. Yeah, I don't like O'Malley's chances there at all. Then O'Malley at 55 against Islam. I mean, come on. Come on. O'Malley would have to put on some serious weight to survive at that 55-pound division. And then we go to Khamzat, 170 against Leon. He could win that against Usman. He could win that. 85 against Adesanya or Pereira. I'm favoring him to win that. And then 205 Yuri. I mean, if he could... Again, the size thing is going to be a big thing. But if Khamzat's like committed to the weight class, I don't see O'Malley ever winning a championship in 3 different weight classes. But Khamzat could do it. I know I'm on a Khamzat hype train, but I could definitely see him winning it at 85. 70 will be tough because he'll have to keep making the weight, but then 205 would be a bit of a shout as well. But if he puts on some muscle, that wrestling is just crazy, and he's still going to be fast. I don't think this take is salvageable. The only thing salvageable about it is that the weight classes are closer. Like, it's only a 20-pound difference to get all 3 of the belts that O'Malley would have to get. But for Khamzat, it's a 15-pound jump and then another 20-pound jump. There, it could be a little bit, but no, I don't see it. Follow MMA Dumb Tweets. Peace.